What is going on, online fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives, Make Money Online Trainer podcast. This is the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to grow a successful online business. In today's episode, we are talking about the new onboarding process for client signups. All right, I'm joined by my boy, the one and only Mr. Cole DaSilva. What's up, bruh?
What's going on, fam? I'm super excited for this episode. When me and Brian sat down the other day and decided to figure out what we wanted to talk about next, I feel like we've been talking a lot about mindset stuff. You've been hearing me and Brian basically like bitch you out by not being a sheep anymore and work on your mindset and basically just like hone in on a lot of different things. So we wanted to give you guys like something to implement today and like really move into.
So I also just wanted to comment on something. So whenever Cole and I do an episode of the podcast together, we do what's called pod chats. So for pod chats, what we do is we record the podcast, and for all of our clients that are currently tuning in, listening to this, afterwards, after the podcast, our clients hang out. So we're actually hanging out in a Zoom class right now with our clients, cheering us on. What's going on, guys? And so today we're talking about new onboarding process for signups. I also want to remind you that we're currently giving away $1,000 on the Change Lives, Make Money Online Trainer podcast. So if you want to be entered to win $1,000, all you need to do, screenshot this podcast episode right now, share it to your Instagram stories, tag me at BMarkFit. Just by doing that, you're automatically entered to win $1,000. Now let's talk about onboarding, Cole, because I feel like most online fitness coaches are really focused, not only online fitness coaches, but I feel like business coaches in general in the entire industry is very focused on selling and marketing and not so much on delivery.
100%. Well, we've seen it firsthand. I feel like a lot of people lose track in what the main purpose is of running a fitness business or a service business. Because if you guys, again, are like bringing in clients for a business coaching industry, I'm glad that you actually brought that up, or a fitness coaching as well, you guys are a service business. You need to deliver a good product. And so many people are just like focused on making that buck that they forget to continue the delivery that is the reason why they started a business in the first place.
Right. So like if we're talking about let's talk about the service of online fitness coaching, right? Like that's a service. So clients are paying you, online fitness coach, to help them lose weight, get in shape, feel better, feel confident in their own skin. Like that's like the base premise. That's what they're paying you for.
Yeah.
Now with online trainers, a lot of online trainers, what you guys will do is you'll sign a client, let's say it's $750 for 12 weeks. You'll sign the client and then you'll design a workout program, a meal plan, and you'll send them that meal plan. And maybe a lot of you guys are sending it in a PDF, or
looks like shit.
Which I'm yeah, for lack of a better term, looks like shit. That's Cole on the podcast, everybody.
Yeah,
looks like shit. And then a lot of you guys won't have exercise descriptions, or you won't have links to videos. And so the client, I'm weight loss client Sarah. I get this meal plan. I haven't been to the gym in a year, and it says do goblet squats, and I'm like, what the fuck's a goblet squat? So I have to go to YouTube, search it up, Google it. What ends up happening with a lot of online fitness coaches, and even for those of you guys that have, you have an app that you train your clients on, a lot of you guys don't explain how to use the app. And so you sign a client, they pay you money, and then they join your program and they open up the thing that you give them and they're like, what the fuck is this?
It's like opening up fucking Instagram or Facebook or TikTok for the first time and you guys being like, how the hell do I navigate through this thing? Like, what am I doing? How do I upload stuff? How do I post this? How do I view videos? What does this video even mean? They have no fucking direction. So they're instantly getting confused.
Guys, and if a client pays you and is instantly getting confused, that is a very big problem.
Yep.
A client pays you and is getting instantly confused, that's a very big problem, because I think that a lot of online trainers, what we do is we operate under the assumption that our clients know as much as we do. But your clients do not know as much as you do. They don't know as much as you do with training, with nutrition. They don't know what a lot of clients don't know what macros are. They don't know why they need to pick up water. They don't know why they need to weigh their food with a food scale.
Yep.
And so if we don't clearly explain these things in the onboarding process, the client is going to skip a bunch of these steps and only do what's easy. And as a result, they're not going to get the result, or some clients won't even start. So what ends up happening is, how many of you guys have fell into this trap where a client will pay you money and you'll design them a training and nutrition program and they won't even fucking start. Like maybe they don't even check into their app, right? They don't even start. They don't even open up the email. And so you're pissed because you're like, why did I just spend all this time and energy designing this program for this client? They're pissed because they're like, I'm not getting the result. And It's just and then they leave and they want a refund, but you don't want to give them a refund because you're the one that designed the program. So it's like this big, right? So we can solve that problem today. we can solve that problem with a good onboarding process.
100%.
Because good onboarding process, and Don Lamb, your trainer, actually said this, Cole, a good you guys should write this down. A good onboarding process gets your clients into momentum right away.
100%.
Good onboarding process gets your clients into momentum right away.
That's something that you guys need to write down. You need to nail into the back of your heads. Okay. Like this is something that will make or break your business. And I'm like 100%, I'm going to like lean on that statement right now because I've seen it happen to multiple coaches. I've seen it happen to multiple entrepreneurs in the online fitness coaching space when they don't know how to optimize the beginning of the business. All right. And the beginning is your onboarding. All right. It will make or break your business. If it's super clear and they understand exactly what they're doing, which we're going to actually break down for you guys right away here, they're going to feel calm. They're going to feel relaxed. They're going to feel coached into the fucking process. All right. But if it's not, they're going to fucking leave. And like Brian said, it's a lose-lose. All right. It's like you going into a mall and not knowing where a store is and there not being any directories or anything. You're probably just going to leave the fucking mall. All right. Like if you go to Edmonton Mall and you need to find a store, the fucking mall is massive. All right. So you're going to be like, what the fuck am I doing here? Where do I go? Where should I be heading? Am I going in the right direction? Like you're going to be lost instantly and you're most likely just going to leave because it's going to overwhelm you. It's going to give you anxiety and it's going to make you feel uncomfortable. All right. An onboarding process will make or break your business and it needs to be very fucking clear.
I love that. And guys, as soon as clients sign up to your program, they need to know exactly what to do.
Yep.
They need to know how to use the app, how to use the nutrition app, what they need to pick up. And they need to know what they need to do so that they can get the best results right away. Because you're thinking all I need to do is design the training and nutrition program, but they get their training and nutrition program and it looks like fucking Chinese. And so they're like, what? Like, what is this? Like, you understand it. You're like, just follow this. Go to the gym, do a goblet squat, you'll lose weight. And they're like, what the fuck is a goblet squat?
Newsflash. Yeah. Newsflash, guys. I'm just going to break down a couple things right now. Number one, your client 90% of the time doesn't know what a fucking macronutrient is or a calorie. All right. They've probably heard it. They've heard it, but they don't understand it. Newsflash, okay, goblet squat might not sound like a crazy intense thing, but goblet squat compared to a regular squat is completely fucking different and it's going to overwhelm the shit out of them. All right, that's why regardless of you having a PDF, which I hate, and I'm going to talk mad shit on them no matter what every time it comes up, or an app, you need to have clear instructions. You need to have a breakdown on how it works. It's like, yo, how many of you guys have gone to IKEA? I got a piece of fucking furniture, brought it home, looked at the instructions, been like, what the fuck am I looking at right now? And been like, okay. And then you got to navigate through it and it takes you forever. And then once it's built, you figure out that something didn't get put in there because you didn't understand the fucking instructions. It's the same fucking thing, guys. You're building a better body. You're building a better lifestyle here.
That's funny. That's a good analogy. Yo, the question of the day is this. Once a client pays you, then what? That's the question of the day. Once a client pays you, then what is the question of the day? I want you guys to think about that for a second. I want you to think about what you've been doing up to this point. Once a client pays you, then what? Just think about that concept for a second. Once a client pays you, then what? Because you guys got to remember, whatever happens next is your client's first impression of your program.
Yep.
Once a client pays you, whatever happens next is your client's first impression of the program. So what is the first impression of your program?
It's a good analogy. I really like that. You guys should write that down. That's very important. Very important.
Whatever happens right after they pay you is their first impression of the program. Okay, so if you guys don't have a step-by-step process clearly laid out, they're not even going to sign into the app. And I'm going to quote Don Lamb here. Your goal is to get them into momentum right away. So guys, let's talk about the step-by-step process for onboarding from start to finish. All right. So this is literally start to finish. So step number one in the onboarding process, once a client pays you, is you're going to collect the payment on the phone. Cole, tell them why.
Because as soon as they get off the phone, guys, they lose that feeling. They lose that emotion for why they got on the phone in the first place. You guys got to realize that the reason why me and Brian preach getting on the phone, all right, when selling a client and getting the payment on the phone is because you have no idea what happens when they get off. All right, let's say I'm talking to Brian. Brian is a prospect that I'm speaking to on a sales call, on a consultation call. And he's like, you know what? I got to pay later because of whatever the fuck bullshit reason I allow him to give me. And he gets off the phone. And then God forbid, homie gets an offender bender later in the day. You really think he's going to be thinking about me afterwards? There's no fucking way. So even though he might need to lose fucking 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 fucking pounds, he's now not going to move down that because he's now emotionally invested in something negative that has to do with his life. And it could be even smaller than that, but I just wanted to break that down.
No, I love that. And another thing I want to talk about, you guys, is like, how many of you have ever said that you wanted to buy something and you're like, yeah, I'm really stoked. And then you kind of waited for 24 hours. And then for whatever reason, you just didn't buy it anymore.
Talked yourself out of it.
You talked yourself out of it. You're like, maybe I don't actually need that right now. I'm like, you were about to invest a significant chunk of change in whatever it was. You're like, I'm fucking in. And then you go another 24 hours and you're like, maybe I actually don't want that anymore. Right. So that happens with your prospects too. Like it's just, it's human nature. Guys, people buy based on emotion. So if you're talking to somebody on the phone and they're like, I'm ready to change my life, then you need to be like, that's great. Let's take action now. They're like, okay, I'm going to like invest later on tonight when I get home. You're like, that's amazing. Only takes like 5 seconds. I'm going to send you the link right now. We can fill it out and I'll get you onboarded tonight. Is that cool? Cool.
Yeah, you challenge it
on the phone.
Challenge it, guys. At the end
of
the day,
on the phone.
You need to realize that if somebody needs to lose more, even more than 10 pounds, they've most likely been struggling for a long time. All right. For a long time. So if you don't push a little bit, you might lose that opportunity to help that person.
Dude, and they might leave for months.
Well, exactly. They've been fucking making excuses for a long fucking time to not start their journey. Now they're ready. You got to push a little bit. You got to push.
On the phone.
Yes.
On the phone. All right. On the phone. Okay. Step number 2 is once they've filled out once they've sent their payment, the next step is to send the client agreement and get them to sign it immediately.
Yeah.
Cool. Next step is for you to sign the client agreement. I'm just going to send it over. It's going to explain how the program works, et cetera, et cetera. Once you sign it, I'm going to send you the questionnaire.
Super easy way to word that, guys, is check out the client agreement right now on the phone. If you have any questions, the reason why we do it on the phone right now is so I can answer those for you. And all this is an agreement to protect me as your coach and protect you as my client. Super fucking easy.
Can you say that one more time?
Yeah. So guys, the reason why we're going to do this on the phone right now is because I just want to be here to answer any questions you have right away. But all this agreement is an agreement to protect me as your coach and you as my client. Super fucking simple. It's a program agreement like you would have in every other fucking coaching situation. All right. So you should have one as an online fitness coach on the fucking
Not
phone
even coaching, just in life. Like if you
Yeah.
guys buy a gym membership, there's an agreement.
Exactly.
Go to the car dealership, there's an agreement.
Across the board. So send that off, get them to do it on the phone so they're committing to their goals, their lifestyle change, etc.
On the phone is optimal. You can do it. If you do it off the phone, that's fine. I'm not gonna give you shit, but on the phone is optimal. Get the payment, be like, okay, cool. Next step, really quick. This will take 30 seconds. I'm gonna send the client agreement. We can go through it together. If you have any questions, you can answer it, but let's just do this on the phone. Just takes care of it right away. I would do it on the phone. If you do it after, that's fine. I have some clients that do it after, but we recommend on the phone.
100%.
Cool. So now next step in the onboarding process is we are going to send the questionnaire to the client and you're going to tell them to fill it out and get it back to you within 24 hours. Now, the reason that we need to get it back within 24 hours is because human beings are emotional creatures. And so right now they're feeling the excitement of transformation and they just paid you, which is exciting, but we need to get them to take that next step within 24 hours. Otherwise, what might happen is after 3, 4, 5 days, they don't fill out the questionnaire. And then how many of you guys have ever had this happen? They don't fill out the questionnaire 3, 4, 5 days later. They're like, I don't think it's a good time for me right now. And then they ask for their money back, right? So we need to prevent that from happening by, once we get the payment, we get them to sign the agreement. And then we send them the questionnaire and we say, thank you so much for becoming my client. I need this back within 24 hours so that I can design your program.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It helps with avoiding buyer's remorse, guys. Because not only is the questionnaire going to help you get started on building their program faster so you can start helping them, but it's going to get them to re-cement why they started this in the first place. Because then when they're taking photos of themselves and writing down their weight and writing down what they're unhappy with and all these things that you need to know in order to build a program, they're re-cementing why they began the program in the first place. Because they're not going to like those photos if they want to change anyways. They're not going to like that weight, etc.
You got to there is urgency on that. You got to tell them they need it back within 24 hours. So they get it back. If you get it back within 24 hours, the chances of them having buyer's remorse is significantly lower because not only did they pay you, but they also filled out your questionnaire and they're like invested in the process. Does that make sense?
100%.
Cool. The next step in the process, you guys, is once they get their questionnaire back to you, you're going to tell them that their program is going to be done within 7 days. Now, there's this very specific reason you're going to use this language. Because if you don't do this, if you don't say to them, once they get their questionnaire back, like, thank you so much for getting this back to me, Brittany, your program's going to be done within 7 days. If you don't do this, what will happen is every day you're going to get a message and it's going to say, hey, just checking in to see if my program's done.
Yeah.
Just checking in. When is my program going to be finished?
When am I going to be able to do my workouts? When do I get my meal plan? When am I going to be able to go grocery shopping? When am I going to be able to start working out? Is it at the gym or is it at home? When is my leg day? When is my chest day? When am I going to be able to do, like, fuck my life? It's crazy.
Within 7 days solves that entire problem. Thank you so much for getting your program back to me, your questionnaire back to me. Your program will be done within 7 days. Now, I'm also going to give you a little bit of a bonus tip here. Bonus tip. If you're in the academy, this is a little bit of a bonus tip. You can also send some sort of get started guide.
Yep.
So if you're in the academy, you can post it like what would go in the get started guide and we can like help you out with that. But you can send them a get started guide, and some examples of a get started guide is, think about this, like, what is your client going to need to pick up in order to make sure that the program is successful? And so maybe they need to pick up a food scale. Maybe they need to pick up some Tupperware containers. Maybe they need to pick up like a 2-liter jug of water, or a 4-liter jug of water, or whatever it is that your program is recommending. Maybe there's a certain supplement stack that you get all your clients or most of your clients to get on. So what are like the base things that your clients need to pick up in order to be successful in your program? And the reason this might be a really good idea to send while you're building the program is it gives your clients some homework, so they're not sitting there twiddling their thumbs waiting for you to design the program.
Exactly. I would also, guys, put in the get started guide being like, get ready to check your email because I'm going to be sending you links to certain things. And it might seem, again, you guys got to treat your clients, and this, again, like kindergartners. Like they don't know fucking anything because this is a new thing for them, a new process, etc. So they might not check their email. I've had it multiple times when I was an online fitness coach where I would send people emails and then I would follow up with them over text and be like, yo, you haven't opened this up. And they'd be like, oh, I haven't got anything. And I'd be like, well, did you check it? And they're like, oh no, let me go check it right now. So just little reminders that you think might not be necessary definitely are.
Boom. I love it. Okay. So we've got collect payment on the phone. Get them to sign the client agreement, send the questionnaire and tell them to get it back to you within 24 hours. Once they get it back to you, you're going to send them a message saying their program will be done within 7 days. And an optional thing that you guys can do here is you guys can also send a get started guide. All right.
Yep.
Now, number 5, the 5th thing you're going to do in the onboarding process to make sure that your clients get incredible results is designing their training plan via training and nutrition plan. Trainerize and Evolution Nutrition would be my top 2 apps. Now, the reason that we recommend using Trainerize and Evolution Nutrition is because PDFs are like so $19.99. Right?
It just looks better, guys. Okay. Like it's the difference between fucking a no-name brand company and a company that invests in their fucking success and wants to look professional.
Trainerize is an app that they're literally going to have on their phone that they can check all their workouts in. It's super, super simple.
That you can brand. That's the thing. Like when I was running fucking Amarok coaching and we were doing Aesthetic Nation, regardless, when you looked at the fucking app on your phone, it showed our logo on your phone. All right. Like it's professionalism versus I'm not going to invest in looking good. All right. And I'm not saying that a PDF isn't going to deliver the results if you're currently doing that. But I'm saying if you want to look like Coca-Cola versus fucking no-name brand in the bottom shelf of Walmart, maybe it's time to start fucking branding your shit a little bit.
Boom. So you've got training plan, you've got the nutrition plan, you're designing it. The last piece of this puzzle is you're going to send them a welcome email. If you're in the 10K Academy, you can literally go into the Academy and I've got their welcome email laid out for you, like literally step by step. So you can just take my welcome email and you can just make it your own. But you're going to send off a welcome email basically overviewing the entire program. All right, so you've got the training plan, the nutrition plan, you've got the welcome email that overviews the entire program, right? Now the welcome email, again, you guys, is because we are thinking about this program in terms of the training and nutrition, and that's it. But your client doesn't really understand why we're doing certain things. They don't understand how your check-in process works. They don't understand why we're using Trainerize. They don't understand, they don't understand a lot of these like fundamental things. And maybe you set their macro targets at a certain thing and you might want to explain to them, this is why your macros are the way that they are. This is why your meal plan is the way that it is. And this is like my goal for the next 12 weeks for you. So I find that once I design their training and nutrition plan, my next move was always to write them like a welcome email that basically summarized the work that I did for them. It's like, this is what I did with your training plan. This is what I did with your nutrition plan. These are my goals for you for the next 12, 16 weeks. And this is another opportunity for you guys to upsell as well. I'm going to drop this in here. Once this 12 to 16 weeks is up, I really do think that the next phase for you is going to be like XYZ, and we'll be able to see XYZ result. But for now, we're just going to focus on these 12 to 16 weeks. And then from after that, we can reassess Once you've dropped the 20 pounds, then we can talk about what the next move is.
See,
get them excited.
Yeah, it's called planting seeds, guys, because so many of you, all right, as beginner online fitness coaches or even intermediate, which we've seen as well, you have a 12 or 16 week long program. I'm very happy you brought that up, B, because I feel like a lot of people need to hear this. You have a 12 week or a 16 week long program, right? That's what you advertise it as. That's what you pitch it as, etc. And the entire time you guys are onboarding or teaching or training or coaching or whatever the fuck you want to call it for your clients, you keep using that word. All right. And that number, 12-week program, 16-week program. All right. Like that's what you guys keep talking about. So then when your client gets to the end of their 12 to 16 weeks, they just drop off because what do you mean? They're done their journey, where Brian and myself would utilize little tiny things in our onboarding videos and our welcome emails and breakdowns, talking about how it's a 12-week minimum. And then we move on to bigger and better things, or then we assess where you are and then we move forward, or then we reassess or reevaluate your goals and then set new goals to help you grow in a certain area. But it's about planting seeds to help these people for a longer period of time. If they're good and they want to leave after 12 to 16 weeks, that's fine. But planting seeds is the key.
I've got another little ninja trick that we're going to drop in here since we're talking about planting seeds. You guys want to write this down? In your check-in forms, like every 2 to 3 weeks, you can put a question that says, what was your goal last week? Did you hit it? Why? So like you could say, what's your goal for next week? That's the first question. And then what's your goal for the next 3 months? And then what's your goal for the next 6 months?
Yep.
So that's a question that you can put in your check-in form, every 2, 3 weeks, because what's that going to do? It's going to plant seeds.
Yep.
What's your goal for next week? What's your goal for the next 3 months? What's your goal for the next 6 months? Right? Because then they're thinking like into the future, they're forecasting, which will help with your retention. Okay, cool. Now, the last part of the puzzle that I really want to talk about that I feel like is underutilized and is fucking super important is the onboarding video.
Love this one. This one's my favorite.
The onboarding video. The onboarding video is a clear explanation of how these apps, how your program, how your training plans, how your nutrition plans work. The onboarding video should be 5 to 10 minutes long. And, you gave them the Trainerize app, which is great. And you gave them the meal plan, which is great. And you got them to sign the agreement, which is great. But this video is where you're going to explain how the program works. Now, the onboarding video, you guys, is one video that you film that you can send out to hundreds of clients. So it's not like you have to film a new one every single time. So literally, online coach, if you're listening to this, make your first onboarding video really good, and then it's good for a long time. But in the onboarding video, what you guys want to do is you want to walk them through Trainerize. Be like, all right, what's going on, guys? So it's Coach Cherokee here, and I want to actually walk you through exactly how to use this program. So I'm going to walk you through the training plan. I'm going to walk you through the nutrition plan. I'm going to walk you through our check-in process. I'm really going to give you a step-by-step breakdown of exactly what to expect. So by now, you should have gotten your email with your training and nutrition plan. If you're watching this video, you got your email with your training and nutrition plan. You're going to download the Trainerize app and you're going to log in. And when you log in, this is an example of what the workout program is going to look like. And you just show them. This is, I'm going to click on one of the days. It's going to have exercise videos in here. This is how you check in for a workout. You're going to walk them through this exactly step by step, right? So you're going to show them how to do this. This is what your nutrition plan is going to look like. Now your nutrition plan is here. You can go to the grocery store, buy your foods in bulk, cook them twice a week, like explain all these things in the onboarding video. You're just walking them through everything that they're going to have to know. I'm going to be sending you a new meal plan every single Friday. So stay on the lookout for that, because every single week you're going to get a brand new meal plan. Then you can go grocery shopping on Saturday, Sunday. Make sure you prep all your food for the week. You set yourself up for success. Your check-in and then you walk them through the check-in process. I'm going to send you a check-in form every Wednesday night. It's due back by Thursday morning at noon. Once I do have your check-in form back, I'm actually going to send you a response Thursday afternoon, and then I'll send you your program updates on Friday. If you have any questions after watching this video, hit me back. I'm so happy to support you. I'm so grateful you joined my program. Welcome to the Cherokee and Jeremy experience. I'm here to change your life. Let's go. That's it.
Super simple. The onboarding video, guys, I honestly see is this like super underutilized tool. And my onboarding process when I was an online fitness coach was actually a little bit different than what we talked about today, based on the onboarding video, because I utilize my onboarding video a little bit more. Mine was, I think, 10 to 12 minutes long, and it was in depth about every single aspect of my program. And I used that as my filler piece while I was building people's programs for 7 days. And I would get them to go over it and ask me questions and break it down. So they would already start engaging with me while I was building their program. And then I'd walk them through it at the end of it. But that onboarding video changes the fucking game. because it gives your clients homework. It gives your clients something to look at so they can understand what's going on in your mind. Because again, you got to look at it like kindergartners. And the reason why the onboarding video is what I like more than like a welcome email, and again, you guys can pick and choose different things here to optimize your onboarding process, is because I'm a very visual learner. All right, a very visual learner. So like if you send me like a welcome email or a breakdown and it has like a lot of information written in the email, it might overwhelm me a little bit. And I'm open to admit that. Like big paragraphs and stuff like that, I don't really like going in depth on them. But a video I'm very engaged with. And that's why when I did mine, again, I'm like a little bit more tech savvy than Brian. I'm just going to say it right now. Mine had like pop-ups and everything with different sounds and shit because I wanted to like keep people entertained through the 12 minutes and be like, yo, this is going to be this app. This is this app. This is how you utilize this. And we just went through the whole thing. And I feel like if you guys really optimize an onboarding video properly, it can do a lot for your fucking business.
Yeah, I filmed my onboarding video with Loom. So
yeah, I did mine with like a video editing app.
Loom.com, screen recorded my screen, and it was 15 minutes, and that was my onboarding video.
Mine had like pop-ups and everything going on. It was fucking lit.
I do not do editing and shit like that. Like I'm the simplest human you guys will ever meet in your entire life. So.
Our clients will get to see that. If you're not our client, you're not going to be able to see the onboarding.
Yeah, step by step. Yeah, somebody's like Adobe Premiere. Yeah, Adobe what? Like that sounds like German to me. I don't understand. Okay, so that's the base onboarding process. All right, that's the base onboarding process. Now, if you're more advanced, of course, you can tweak this a little bit and maybe do some things a little bit differently. But like this is what the baseline premise that we'd recommend. The base onboarding process. So collecting their payment on the phone, getting them to sign the agreement, send the questionnaire. I get it back within 24 hours. Once you have their questionnaire back, you're going to send them a message letting them know their program will be done within 7 days. There's optional here. You can send them a get started guide. You're going to design their training and nutrition program. Once it's done, you're going to send that off in an email, and then you're going to send an onboarding video that literally like overviews the entire process. And that's it. That's all. It's that simple.
Super simple.
Once you guys graduate to the 10K mastermind, there are we do some other stuff. Like once your business really starts to scale, we teach you guys how to do kickoff calls and running like private communities. But for those of you guys in level 1 right now, you don't need to worry about that. So this is like the base premise of the experience. Cool. So guys, that's it. That's all. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Change Lives, Make Money Online Trainer podcast, the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to grow a successful online business. If you guys got value from today's episode and you want to win $1,000 cash, all you got to do is screenshot any podcast episode, share it to your Instagram stories, tag me at BMarkFit. Let me know that you're tuning in. You're automatically entered to win $1,000 cash. And Cole, where do they find you, dog?
You guys can check me out on Instagram or TikTok at Cole DaSilva or Spotify/Apple Podcasts at the Wake Up with the Wolf podcast.
Boom. That's it. That's all, guys. Have the best day of your entire life, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.